О, алло, 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 алло. Теперь слышно. А не слышно. А теперь слышно. По идее, все нормально должно быть. По идее, да? Алло. Все равно громко, да? Вот так, я думаю, нормально будет, да? Не знаю, почему мне надо что-то делать, чтобы еще вообще слышно, чтобы мне было реально. Пофиг. Кал. Кал. Я, да. Удивлен, что так быстро загружается, на самом деле. Катушку песен. У меня такой пустая есть катушка, кстати. Мне кажется, я сдохну.
Yes.
Так что, вот самое глупое всегда то, что почему-то нельзя переспросить, типа, почему? Как бы заключается вся суть-то, скажем так, в расследовании, когда ты как бы задаешь одни и те же вопросы, и люди постоянно по-разному отвечают. Типа, это как бы тоже, как бы, ну, того самого. Что я посмотрел. Потому что, как бы, могут вспомнить, об этом думать. Они как бы закидывают идеи людям, да, вот, которые допрашивают. И потом они еще ходят, переспрашивают даже.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
The worn and beaten.
Подожди, подожди, а как мне поспать-то? Как поспать, почилить?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers.
I have something.
Бля.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge like a leopard waking from its sleep. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather
Так, надеюсь, все идет, я вообще
Four
ничего
shiny
не настраивался.
are stacked against the seat. The silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
Honestly, that sounds like an amazing physics demonstration.
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. I don't know, is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway, a cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
The spinners shine so bright they reflect on the lieutenant. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Так, какой-то... да? 200! Опа! Эй! Алло! Алло! Так, пойдем. Ну, сколько он мне купит у меня его? Так, не сюда. Пиздец, бля, колпаки за 200 рублей. Ёбнешься просто. И какие-то еще знаки надо водяные там какие-то расследовать. Хорошо, что барахольщик постоянно, скажем так, не спит.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and
Yes, these are very, very good.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Печально, что это
Boys,
только
I meant
одним
no
способом можно, походу, деньги
200
заработать.
real for you,
Ну, по
officer.
крайней мере, мне получилось только
Life
колпаки
is
какие-то
business.
случайно найти.
Thank you. Here's the 100 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Все это есть. Ну, это стоит кал, нахуй.
Another time, perhaps.
Так. Водные знаки. О каких водных, блядь, знаках была речь? Возьмите показания водителя отношения к контрабанду. Давайте спросим, а водные знаки хрен пойми, что это. Сейчас мы там вот спросим по броню. Ага, завтра, значит, мы это сделаем. Завтра. Так, кто сложил мусор? Самосудие, татуировка жертвы. Танцы. Найдите вход в коридор. Так, странно, я вставал.
as you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable.
Let me see. Right here. It has its problems.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. Right. The meaning of the perforations remains. There are many of them. The first row has 18 dots. The next is the longest. It runs all the way. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice the last row has 3 perforations. That's it. The rectangular watermark, a rat brazenly.
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not. Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot.
На 200
even for
дел
someone
закрыл.
who's been on force
Ёпрст,
for nearly
просто.
2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather... There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Yes.
На самом деле, вот игра получается... А сколько, интересно, тут озвучилось? Сколько часов озвучки тут висит? Мне кажется, вообще до хера. Из-за этого никогда Disco Elysium, мне кажется, не переведут. Есть какие-то большие бабки.
Everyone has their own method
Скажем
of
так.
coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves. If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you. As you will.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn out the
10
lights.
опыта, нормально. Это как книга. А как книга? А в книге сколько? Не, ну, как бы книга это немножко другое, а озвучивать ты еще дольше, типа, ты как бы читаешь для себя, а тебе надо проговаривать, там такой, такой длинный текст, пиздец. Вот недавно я видел, короче, какую-то... на Hogwarts Legacy хотят собирать озвучку, где надо им 1 500 000, миллион с
You can
чем-то.
now see your statistics on your journal page.
Кто-нибудь вообще, если кто-то играл, вот, блядь, там, ну, реально, вот, типа, там овер дофига так диалогов, что реально надо заплатить челикам, кто озвучивает деньги, вот столько. Это ж пипец, это ж дохера. Это, получается, там вообще, я не знаю просто сколько там. Ну, там писали, походу, 32 часа надо записать, что ли, к диалогов. Хрен его знает, короче. Без понятия. Вообще без понятия. Прокачка, кстати. А что я хотел? Вот я вот как бы никого неделю не играл или сколько-то не играл. Я не помню, что я еще брал. Бля, как бы... Вот это, пофиг. Пофиг. Вообще пофиг. Меня если нормально вообще слышно вообще в игре, а то я как бы посмотрел запись свою, по звуку все нормально. На стриме меня вообще не слышно кого-то на стриме, я не знаю. Ну как-то же люди меня слышат. Я, короче, блядь. Мне не хватает еще 10 рублей. Нормально? Хорошо, это хорошо.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer.
Э,
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff.
Ой, я
None of us would tamper with
Я устал.
privacy.
Что-то делать, крутить какие-то там эти вещи там. Со звуком. У меня со звуком самая большая проблема, потому что я запарился, блядь. Потому что невозможно настроить так, чтобы как бы все работало идеально. Ты типа смотришь свой стрим нормально, типа я все слышу хорошо, то, блядь, когда зрители заходят, либо они пишут что-то, я что-то ответил, либо они просто так порофлили, ушли, либо просто, блядь, не услышали, потому что они не услышали. Мне похуй. Кал, я
Yes.
считаю.
Yes. Have you got it? Well.
Мы скинули, блин, я вообще не помню. Надо, короче, реально все проходить, все, скажем так, по очередности, каждым днем, чтобы ничего не забыть. Я же не помню, я же как-то скинул, походу, бабки.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted.
Опыт это
for
хорошо.
services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
Подожди, 1 день 100 реалов? Блять, это же нереально жить тут
The
тогда.
electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Чего?
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take
Еще
it.
20?
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Так, получается, я сейчас проебался, да? По времени. Ну, это же глупо, блять, если она закрывается. Надеюсь, что это все нормально. Его хата, да? О, нет, все нормально. Это
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Ну, пойдем. Все так просто не закончилось. Надо поболтать еще.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a
Ай,
moment.
что такое? Так.
He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
Я тоже не знаю, что он курит. А мог поделиться сигареткой?
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You're cold, detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night. You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an
Даже из сигареток он закурил, еще миллион диалогов, блядь, вставляют. Пиздец.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit.
Не знаю, я вот, когда курил сигарету, я что-то себя не считал крутым, блядь, это просто сигарета, блядь. Что я до сих пор не понимаю, в чем смысл курения-то, типа...
Yes. It's been a
Cow.
long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body.
Типа то, что это как-то расслабляет, как-то тебя успокаивает. Ну, это хз. Как по мне, лучше, блядь, я не знаю. Блин, ну реально, типа, в этой жизни, походу, только вот такими, чем тебе усугубляет тебе здоровье, тем ты как бы и лечишься, скажем так. Свои сложные свою сложную жизнь. Ну, короче, трудный момент. Вот, чё.
I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. The body is still hanging from that tree, which is
Пьют, курют,
unfortunate.
курят.
And there's still much
Это
to do
всё.
at the crime scene.
Постоянно.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews,
Я надеюсь, хотя мне что-то кажется, это одно дело в диско Elysium, больше не будет.
we weren't able to find
Скажем
the
так,
main leader.
это как... Я, конечно, не смотрел все эти фильмы и сериалы, которые... Хотя, точнее, сериалы, фильмы-то я смотрел детективные. Мне кажется, это как Фарго, например. Вот это убийство... Я не смотрел, я вот что-то рассказывали. Я помню то, что с этого убийства начинается там что-то еще распутываться, там что-то еще. Я примерно говоря, без понятия.
We tried to interview the White House rep,
Какую-то
but
хуйню
she asked
сказал, ну
us to
ладно.
do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
Подожди, это прочитано? Бля.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
Интересно, здесь можно какие-то опыт получить, если ты как-то правильно ответишь. Что-то узнаешь нового.
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic
1000.
structure of
Это за что? Ну, как что нарушить, чтобы 1000 заплатить? Шпи. Я еле как здесь деньги ношу, и то, блин. Это как бы этот рояль в кустах, блин. Ну, колпаки какие-то нашли, блин, в тачке и продали.
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to...
Не прошу помоломочь. Получается, мне то... Отец, а как тут работает? Типа, я могу применять оружие, если мне грозит опасность, или нет? Это ну, это как бы, какие законы, Америки или России? России, блядь, походу, вообще нельзя стрелять никогда в жизни. Вот, да, точно. В Америке, как я понял, так легче, ну, типа, что-то там, если смотреть police activity, всякое такое, там, блядь, людей просто, блядь, расстреливают, пиздец, блядь, за, ну, конечно, если за какие-то поступки, но обезвредить, а не всю обойму вкладывать, я не знаю, типа, это странно, как по мне.
Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. the coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen. Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats. A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract. Do you?
Так. Я бы два выбрал. Вот это, блин, вот это. Типа, вот это, конечно, рофл, блядь. Скорее всего, или нет. Смотря, я не знаю, как ты отыгрываешь эту роль кого-то там, или как-то тебе потом будет какое-то досье в конце игры пока, что ты там ёбнутый психопат какой-нибудь еще, я не знаю. Там, расист или что-то такое. Здесь, потому что здесь много тем вообще поднимается в игре, всяких разных, там, расизм, что-то еще, ну, вы поняли.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Then you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the
Если я знал,
unit
что это такое еще, блядь.
vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally,
Vigilant.
I don't enjoy it much.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like an aerostatic passes overhead. The whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuraga's glasses.
They really don't like us here.
Интересно,
The mouth on that
возможно ли так,
You know,
то, что каким-то образом,
different in land, in Jamrock, in
каким-то
the
образом
age.
Диск Elysium может принять какую-нибудь экранизацию, какой-нибудь там сериал или фильма. Хотя, мне кажется, сериал самое то будет. Типа, в такой стилистике я посмотрел бы. Ну, типа, прикольно. Но это еще не скоро, как говорится. Если у них вот диск Elysium каким-то образом мега популярная там она стала, там про нее все знают, то кто-нибудь да и возьмется за экранизацию. Если, конечно, она понравилась людям. Я не знаю, я только что начал играть. Ну, по идее, это интересно. Здесь, конечно, диалогов до хренища будет, потому что плюс, если тоже будет с тобой, скажем, твой разум разговаривать, это было прикольно было. Как это выглядело бы, я посмотрел бы.
It's our fault for
Интерпретировал бы.
leaving this place to the dogs, to the union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. We run this city.
Ну,
West of the river is
вот
our
как бы,
farmland.
на самом деле, если Last of Us каким-то образом повлияет э, на мир, то, что вот игра можно сделать просто, как бы копировать, что в игре было, и просто переносить на экраны большие. Ну, блядь, на фильм. Это было прикольным было, на самом деле. Потому что, как бы, это тоже же искусство, блядь, в игре. Вот как делают сцены, как постановка сцен, вот это все. Это же людям нравится, это же охуенно выглядит. Типа, а вот до этого все, что снимали, это же вообще какой-то кринж. Есть, конечно, какие-то там хорошие экранизации, ну, как-то относительно, уж так сказать, хорошие.
Human beings are. But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Ну, вряд ли мы что-то здесь изменим, ну, типа, как бы, вот это получше сказать, но я думаю, что, как бы, это убийство, это же, блядь, постоянно людей убивает, и ничего не меняется, это надо в людях. Я вот это отвечу.
Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Окей. Сам? Блять, вот ты меня забайтил, да? Вот мог бы, как бы, отвезти меня обратно в квартиру. Все, спать.
The window stands bright. The morning light hurt.
Так, еще посмотрим, что мы можем еще сделать тут.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne tinted interiors and facades to suit the times. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Lemillion's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix, because, unlike Guillaume Lemillion, you are a police officer.
Ну,
There is
я
a
пока
vast
не
ocean of
вооружен.
time between right now and the expression, looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne corked smile whenever you want to. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
Здесь, скорее всего, что-то еще должно быть, мне кажется. Но у
Your
нас нет
breathing
скилл-чека
steadies. A great
какого-то.
silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Если так было все легко. Ага. Ага. Расследуем по-новому, скажем так. Диско.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me. Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there with one hand. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
Почему это норма, блядь? Почему это считается нормой? Вот как произошла жизнь, так и она должна быть. Почему все возвращать-то нужно? Значит, произошло, чтобы ты не хочешь ничего возвращать-то. Ладно.
No, it's gone.
А,
3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium. No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy. Everything, the pale and the islas, on the surface, the outer magnetosphere, burning furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You're not coming back from shit, thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you, a thin, sleep-like state, more glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
О, остановлено. Хорошо. Это хорошо.
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect, ready to go to war against the world. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired. Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do.
Тебя? Что-нибудь еще можно на своем зеркале разглядеть?
A mirror hangs on the bar.
Все. А почему это все в минус идет, блядь? Почему? Почему это все так хреново? Может, я как-то неправильно отвечал, из-за этого мне все минус, да? Это ж как говно какое-то получается. Кау. На всякий случай драку с этим челом пройти. А он где, кстати, остановился?
This door still nothing.
Вот она у меня пистолет свистнула, блядь. 100%, блядь. Больше некому. Тут все. А где он сам-то? Так, сейчас посмотреть можно. Вот он, бабулька.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him. The circumstances in Martinez. My preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
Угу.
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and in fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant.
Погнали, погнали.
So let's keep a cool head. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your
А
own.
куда идти-то?
But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about
Не, я как бы да, я буду. А почему бы и
They're in
нет?
no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway,
Ну,
I
как
leave
бы-
the choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine.
Ну,
with me.
куда мы там хотим проникнуть? Может, что-то да, нам зацепки какие-то дадут, потому что же, как бы, скажем, хотя нет, не будем куда продвигать, сначала все по базару. Мы пришли расследовать, а не убегать.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his
Может, он его
expeditions so
замочил
carefully.
как раз?
But you have more important things to worry about.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The water lock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. Oh my, what happened to the water lock? Oh, sweetie, if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired, and it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine.
Блять, кошка, ты с ума сошла?
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating, but I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Все знать в этой игре.
Ah yes, Phasmatodea, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence it's named the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket. Oh, thank you, dear.
О, обратно.
I confess,
Okay.
I am glad to see it again.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. And I don't. Just one.
Ooh, tough choice there.
That would be the giant of Kokonur.
No.
The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur desert in South Samara, casting a strange light.
Почему
across the
Самара
forests.
так очень много раз встречается? Есть даже вот в Project Zomboid мод на тачку, там что-то Мустанг Самара. В чем здесь Самара, блядь? Или как переводится Самара как-то?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision. The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana.
Hooey. No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur desert might allow the creature to grow to these
Gravity anomaly? Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
The lieutenant pauses,
Mhm.
thoughtfully.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
Well, the smallest cryptid is the Cryobacter catlensis, a unicellular bacterium. It was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Katla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologists. The bacterial colony Mijanu found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history. Mijanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life. Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial.
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging. but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friend, we can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades. I thought we'd agreed on just one cryptid, sweetie. Your work must get... The smallest cryptid is the
Подождите,
cryobacterial
стой, куда? Я же...
cellular bacterial colony. Michanu disappeared shortly after injecting her... Oh, sweetie.
Почему она скипнула, блядь?
So awful, but prolonging... After Michanu treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but we can assume that she...
Да ёпта, блядь, почему?
In the wilderness. I thought we'd agreed on just one cryptid, sweetie. Can't say no to that. The bacteria... Michanu disappeared shortly after. Everything has a price. After Michanu treated herself with the bacteria, we can assume that she has been living... I thought we'd agreed on just one... Your work. The smallest...
Почему я не могу все сразу?
Shortly after... Mm-hmm. Michanu did talk about the end. Everyone thought the back... I thought with your work...
Вот это вот мне непонятно, почему нельзя все спросить.
Well, yes. Impossible? Everything. As after Michanu treated herself, we can assume that the no...
Хотя там ничего нет. Странно как-то. Почему так пишется, непонятно. Зачем тогда эти диалоги, если они, блядь, все одинаково отвечают? Там даже, я не знаю. Могли бы как бы это все в одно вообще вставить в один диалог, типа вот так, и все сокращать. Нет, что-то как-то чик-чик-чик надо обратно. Я не понимаю вот этого.
Oh, it is. None of his victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue. It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite a couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little...
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps.
Ну, это странно даже как-то. А как может, собственно, яд себя убить? Она же как бы в него в крови ж получается. Он же... Если он, ну, как бы, пускает яд, ну, и случайно попался в рот, да? Что он, получается, сдохнет, что ли? И как он... И что он ел тогда? Типа, если он, например, если он нападал на жертв, получается, он в них пускал яд, и, получается... Яд их, ну, умертвлял. Что он ел тогда?
Alas, always, alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely to be found again. What an interesting question.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
It's the Col de Mama d'Aqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound.
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights. Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited. They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Coldamamadakwa, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them. Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mamadakwa they followed individually. Yes, that's another translation. Although the low part is a little ironic, the Coldamamadakwa makes, or rather is...
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, they tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadakwa. Psst.
They cancel each other out. Psst.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population. After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though.
I'm glad you did, dear. What about what? Of course, dear.
You know, to hell with it.
Of course, officers. Of
Ему это
course,
вообще
dear.
есть, ну ладно. Хе.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and what are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. Yeah, a cool, trash superstar. Big dick cop down on his luck. Salam Rocky by here. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an...
Блять, еще. Да почему все в минус, блять, я не понимаю. Я что-то, может, не так делаю. Хуй пойми.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my...
Девочку.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez? What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people aggressive. You make your living enforcing violence. These
Ой,
people
бля,
are just
душнило
software
какие-то,
workers.
So
блядь.
you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all. And
Fuck yeah.
Дебилы, блядь, тупые.
ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Get sober. Do your job. Ask your questions and get the hell aggressive. Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job. Ask your questions. Then get out of Martin.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Пошла в очко, короче. Брось. Паш.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony. There's a little slide panel up there to let some.
Еще не время.
No need to open it in spring. It's still.
Ладно, потом.
This is where you say your bed.
Да, и... Спасибо.
Detective.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker.
Он не
that one.
сочувствует тому.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for
Что,
you,
блядь.
huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt, like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was
Ну,
dead.
типа... Ну, блядь, что это, блядь? Это, блядь, можно уже, типа, что это? Что это? Ну, типа, крутой такой, ебать. Его надо его посадить, нахуй, арестовать, эту
There's a
пенис.
catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the coalition. During the suzerain's
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But But you see, a lawman.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a
Ничего
Hardy Boy
страшного. Бля, вот
without
надо было
arresting
звать
all
подкрепление.
Hardy Boys.
Блядь, такие
Do you
охуевшие,
think
блядь.
you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Who do you fucking think does?
That's right, asshole. Titus Hardy runs the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas?
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper. You don't have to keep answering his questions.
Блядь, уберите его нахуй отсюда, блядь.
Lizzie, relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Типа они так, ну, чувствуется какой-то, типа это у них такой рофл, да, ха-ха, ха-ха. Ну и, блядь, его за это можно уже посадить, блядь. Он как бы мешает следствию, блядь. И я найду, блядь, как посадить эту тварь.
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line in my town. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that.
'Cause one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNE's goddamn special forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
Fuck you.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
There's slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls.
Да ну нахуй, пиздец, блядь. Убивать за это. Круто, блядь.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming, "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here.
No, you're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still.
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged.
Ну он так спокойно говорит, типа это, типа такой, блядь, рофл такой, типа у них такой долгий или что, блядь. Можно уже, блядь, посадить, он, блядь, сознался, блядь, уже говорит, типа. Похуй, блядь, его, на него.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think?
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch, definitely not his. This little rat-faced fellow is solid too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there. A single sentence would wear him out. He can't take the length of the question.
No. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
And fuck you, too, copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the...
Like what, copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he... While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Look, coppers, I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us and 2 of you.
The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast, not an echo. No one screams. It's more dead bodies, some leave from the district of Martinez, as the bodies of 2 police officers are found.
Что это за кал, блядь? Сука, блядь. Кто? Блядь, у них оружие или чё, блядь? Почему, нахуй? Почему я не могу их арестовать, блядь? У него пистолет же есть, блядь. Я еще, блядь, пойду пистолет куплю, нахуй, блядь. Бред, блядь, ебаный, блядь, какой-то. Ой, блядь. О, блядь. А можно было, блядь, сохраниться, блядь? Пиздец, кал, блядь. Ой, что заново, блядь. Блядь, какое говно, блядь, а? Какого хрена, блядь, она не сохраняется? Здесь автосохранение. Блядь. Блядь, в обычных играх, блядь, где, например, даже визуальные новеллы, блядь, скорее всего, блядь, сохраняются каждый раз. Да, это его хата. Ага, понял тебя я. Телепортируемся, да? Охуительно, блядь.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you...
Ой, Такой бред просто, блядь. Блядь, полицейский, 2 полицейских сдохли, блядь, против, блядь, 4 людей. Охуеть. Это что за полицейские такие обосрыши, блядь? Ладно, мы не можем, но у него же пистолет был, блядь, он мог расхуярить всех, блядь, похуй вообще. Типа, окажет сопротивление, все, блядь,
The
сдохли,
mirror
нахуй.
hangs on the bathroom wall. It belongs in the new, the third decade of things were good.
Да мы
It
все
was all rubbish if it
смотрели.
doesn't out of the dazzling swirl of disco music. Everyone loved the click. Sometimes you like to add fingers. There is a vast ocean of you have some understanding. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne. It's like something snap, just like that.
Обалденно.
The bed is cold and not. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin.
Да.
The bed sag, and then sleep. And then, obvious, maybe it's the bed. It's in smells of it barely covers. It's a little better. Something to do with your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over.
Даже почему сохранения нету после вот сна, например? Это же, блядь, идеально было, блядь, пиздец. Мне кажется, и во сне можно получить еще найти, мне что-то так кажется. Если так просто.
Do you remember this? What it says on the can, Harry? Answer the question. Do you remember your... Do you remember... You know, reality will turn into a grotesque... Oh, tell me. Where they were on... You failed at least every... You... No, you're...
Stinky.
You're not coming back from You're...
So something is wrong. Oh, time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Oh, you mean, why are you so... It's just that you're too weak to say no. Speed, it's power, man. Are you sure? Suit yourself.
А мы, кстати, прям диалоги сохранятся. Это было понятно. И здесь все заново. Да, давай.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union must have everything, which may have. I mean, and men who drink beer for a completely one loose thread less to work. That would, in fact, even one more thing before we do.
Yeah, but...
There ain't no...
Just a...
She's...
And they're...
The closest...
It's fine, I under... Please, the union office probably has a phone, but till it... I was...
A little missing persons puzzle might...
That's just... you...
More important than a missing...
Just some... But they...
The water lock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, Gary's is loyal. Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Oh, sweet.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask.
Yes.
And if you see him... Oh, you're such a dear. Oh, yeah.
It's a...
That's,
She's you.
My apology.
It's not... Searching for such species called... Oh, dear. I'm not sure where to begin. We'll be celebrating our...
You can't go around.
Oh.
The lieutenant...
One other thing. He'll buy a...
She's skipping over some important...
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie, it...
The lieutenant gives you a sideways...
Well?
Ah, yes.
Where up hence it...
I knew.
It's not... It's simply... Oh... Well, of course...
Enthused.
I suppose I have something of a Oh, well, of course.
Enthusiasm.
I suppose I have something of a. Yes. Oh dear. Morel can explain it. I hope you're able. Oh, thank.
Even the
Now, what else, sweetie?
Я так быстро все. А где криптомутанты, блядь?
Just some. But they.
the waterlock. That was
Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Oh, sweetie. If it weren't for you, I'd be.
You're welcome.
I hate to ask.
yes, some left.
And if you see him, let. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
There's really no.
Oh,
One cryptid.
He nods. Cryptic. Ooh, tough choice.
that would be the giant live. No one. The tap.
Who are you?
That's what. There are.
Gravity anomaly.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask a.
The lieutenant.
Ah,
Well, the back. Michanu disappeared. Yes. The back.
it's actually.
Yes. We can assume that she. The gnome. Oh, yeah. It was. A couple of. It's still.
If the body of the.
Alas. Instead.
Alas. Always. Alas and then.
I understand your. What an.
Of course. Okay.
It's the.
Call the mama dakwa.
Yes. Although the.
Fine, I'll.
Many scientists. It could be plenty. When the science. They realize. Sequester. Time. Just. That. They tried to. Psst. Exactly. After that.
Of course.
I'm glad you did. What about what? Of course, dear.
You know.
Of course, officer. Of course.
Аж без этого, блядь.
The man ponders his cooking eat. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for no, I don't. Was that? Could it be? The Coldam? There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Lena also said, honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot.
No, I don't hear the Koldomama that.
Of course he doesn't. There it is again. You're about to read it. It must be very close. Keep still. It might perch on. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy. Oh no. The sound. No. Too late. It's gone. Keep your ears peeled then. That pawn bra. In the morning light, the white on blue do something important. This is a Caprice.
Все уже.
The
Я
Caprice
начал
Motor
скипать,
Corps
блядь.
follow-up to their
Это мы
highest with its
уже смотрели уже.
rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine. The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin. Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged. Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing in. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Sorry, I'm not following you.
Lingo it up.
No, that's porno tuning. Those spinners were elegant, sleek, porno. That's short for pornography.
The sole purpose of pornography is to stimulate one's visual sense to evoke sexual arousal. The same.
That's a negative on the porno. Thank you, though. 100.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
You lost me there. The Kini.
Armel Ryu Supersonique.
Yes.
It's nice and helium headlights would improve the range and quality.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yes.
It's nice. Helium headlights would improve.
So,
Lingo it up.
no, that's porno tuning. Porno.
The sole purpose of porno.
That's a negative on the porno.
Ладно, понятно. Не хочешь топовую тачку сделать.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and as you tap on the gauge, the indicator.
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They're also fragile.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Wait, before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your...
10-4, sir, I'm not hearing your question.
What? What is it? He's still on the line?
He wants to verify the information.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revolution.
Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over. 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Sir, I will not have you talk to me in this manner. Over.
What? What is it? What can he...
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to call him by his name.
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's new.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
10. Excuse me, sir. Over. No, sir, I haven't. You're not really keen on mentioning your home life, so I've always assumed 10-4, well...
Does he actually want something, or is he hell-bent on disrupting our work?
He asked if he ever told me about his days before joining the RCA.
For God's sake, cut this shit out! Tell him to stop wasting...
Sir, Satellite Officer Vicmar says... So, was there anything else? That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12 visit. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the... So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they may be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though. Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. Not yet, but I was able to convince...
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Fellatio, and you're listening to...
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby. Startled right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns...
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called?
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy.
God damn it. Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak or... You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's quit joking around, alright? We have a case to investigate.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? Just a second, officer. Sylvie Malay. Yes, hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
Oh,
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Yes, you absolutely should. It's awful that you lost it.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that. There is silence on the other end of the...
No, please, no more suicide threats. Thank God you don't have that stupid...
There are way more inventive ways than a gun to leave this world.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, big bucks cannot lie, and guns can't buy money, but money... It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things. Well... You tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. Clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paper, I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
You hear...
Anything else I can help you with? 57?
In the cabin, you see a set.
Так, чё нам вообще нужно? Что? Чё мне над головой-то эта хрень висит?
Make way for the master poet.
Типа багнуло?
Looking for something, Aunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
Is this about...
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
No. You need...
Понял.
Right to work! Right to... Things are busy enough. You're going to waste...
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? The little boy had the good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words, not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hat. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, but...
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real... It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Так, куда еще можем сходить? Надо пистолет купить. Сколько он стоит там? Да ёпта. Что еще может быть тут? Ничего. Вряд ли он стоит 50 рублей.
A lorry stuck. The windows are...
Ничего нету.
The woman is still hunched over the
Блин,
railing.
а как я не... Я у нее спрашивал же. А. Все, это мы спрашивали. Просто самый диалог. Почему мне вот это висит? Как будто где-то надо подойти, что-то найти.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
You see two lowly.
I can see you've a taste for luxury.
These once respectable speakers have been caught. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneak. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props.
Samaran trash? That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic.
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist. Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyles. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50...
Damn. So you have to buy the sneakers first.
Блять, кроссовки сраные, блядь.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest fallen sneakers. Super Air, super fine.
Only? That's madness.
50 рублей.
Fallen Ultra. Where the
Скорость реакции, координация.
You remember the slogan from some magazine.
Блин, почему он, блядь, почему кроссовки дают тебе минус что-то, блядь, ж обычные кроссовки, блядь.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100%.
Блядь, везде минус, я не хочу везде минус, я хочу хоть какой-то баф плюс.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs, unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are egg. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or...
That's cool. Especially after you already said that's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We believe him.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm
realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb
And what crowd is that?
crowd. You know, the drug crowd. Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
The crumpled salmon butter billboard. A rusting. This panel, you pull the leaf, nothing happens. A spring, wasn't there a sign?
Так, мы здесь все уже почекали.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was?
Да хуй знает.
That's quite likely, from what I can tell. Oh. I suppose that narrows it down somewhat.
Somewhere in the depths of your alcohol-addled soul, you find a few threads that you can weave into a story.
The tip-top tourney champion?
The lieutenant patiently listens to the words coming from your mouth.
Jumping canals at night? If I was Jacob Irv, I wouldn't drive in Martinez. The roads are awful. In conclusion, it's a colorful theory, but I don't believe Jacob Irv did this. Should we go? If we must.
О, все нормально. Так, сколько пистолет стоит, надо вспомнить.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. The Coldima Madakwa. Sorry.
Блядь, только говорит, что опять он продает. Че просто стоит почитать? Опять сюда бабка. У меня нет денег столько. Здесь нигде заработать даже. Даже тары, хрен найдешь. Вообще мало платят.
What an interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Coldima Madakwa. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore. This was before, you know, lost touch with them. Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Coldima Madakwa. We thought we did, We got together all these recordings of
Очень
unusual
кайф, когда я
sound
скипнул этих, блин, кто меня убил.
cut them
Просто
up
я не
and
знаю, как
combine
еще,
them into
бля,
the
пистолет будем
symphonia
искать.
called Imamadakwa. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally that's an illusion. Your breathing is just as it was and will remain that way unless... He nods to you, reassuringly. Just seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but
That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin whisper. A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling.
you know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if the lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
You were adamant, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. She did, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your... In that case, she'll be happy to get a visit from her.
My...
A needle in a haystack.
Sure, man. Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Oh, a photic path? Another time, perhaps.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light. What are you? Deaf? Yeah, you. With a sudden flash. What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison to the muscular man with antlers.
Что-то я вообще не догоняю, реально. Как пистолет-то купить? Что-то я... В предыдущем, походу, можно было купить или нет. Что-то непонятно. Сейчас, пардон.
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and behold, world. Here.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you? Ah, yes, King Philip III.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the...
A superpower, feared and respected. Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Revachol would be a different place if more people realized that.
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being.
Decisively, a nation.
Don't get...
The carabiner.
Right.
I have really... How...
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope you're happy.
René, it's a little pleasures. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree. No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must...
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose...
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not even any...
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history, only heard about it years later when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the... He doesn't know anything. Because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, thank you. For being consummate professional. Sure, officer.
No. Oh, the goal is to throw your bull as close to the cochonnet as you can. That's the cochonnet. Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of rope. Then, the the players aim to throw their bulls as close to... I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take a... You'll put that knowledge to good use in 20...
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now? Hurry up then.
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal. It's the only one you have.
Suddenly you realize how hungry you are. The last time you ate, aeons ago. Probably when you were still a child. The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author, in addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that...
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay...
You can barely hear him. The sweet smell of pickles in harmony with garlic butter and marinated onion.
Fuck off! It's mine!
A glimmer of respect flashes in Rene's eye.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
And it's gone.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? We are a special kind of vermin, Gus.
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political. This right here is political.
What the hell are you talking about? What foreign anarchist?
No time to bring him in. Just keep your eyes on the prize and ignore him.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Why would you even...
He won't kill. As long as there's food in his fat belly, he'll lick any boots that's kicking it to him.
Good. Rene's on board too. Time to take back the streets. Right-wing populism. Here we come.
Now you are talking sense, son. All four of us working as a group. We can make a difference.
I'm actually already a member in a group tasked to keep the streets safe. You are too. We call ourselves the police. Are you sure? 'Cause right now, it looks like you are organizing a vigilante group.
What do you mean, officer?
Agreed. What about the whole group? I propose a pair de la Couronne, Swords of the Crown, in honor of my old unit.
I'm sure we can come up with something with a bit more oomph than that.
It's dignified. We need dignity. And you, get excited.
All right. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, you went through all that trouble for my sandwich. I'm flattered, officer, but my answer is no. Now, how else can I help you?
Блин, прикольный диалог. Все ради сэндвича. Это красиво, мне кажется. А это кто?
Hello? Me?
Hello,
No
hello.
one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. No. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
It's got to be something else then. Why else would you be asking her if it wasn't?
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know.
Where is this going?
Yes, but no. Why are...
It's got to be something else.
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Shamrock. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Shamrock, safe...
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
There is no investigation here. I can tell you that.
Okay, it must be asked then. What are you doing here?
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a...
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what? Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Great. Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astronaut?
Wonderful. The store is open. I don't mean to...
Бля, не то.
But you...
For what it's worth, I agree. But
Nothing.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your...
Wonderful. The store is open.
Her hands move over the book covers. The woman before you.
Блять. Квест даже из ниоткуда взялся, блядь. Какаду какой-то, блядь. Где через свою птицу-то найти?
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool? You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
Это какаду?
Shelves filled to the brim with crime.
Не то. Вот он, да?
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as...
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage.
Ну, 72% как бы, знаете. Сохраниться нельзя.
You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Shelves full of biographies of famous people.
Hello again, esteemed off.
А как?
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest. This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among... Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food. You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun. Ouch. That must hurt. Not great for the neighbors. Performing? Yes, birdie. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hue. Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is main. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're a fuckatoo embodied. This sorry-ass bird belongs on your heraldry. It probably doesn't even have feathers and only screams. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or it's just a racist, but an intricate web of blue lines. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky. Gone. For you to discover. You've got someone who knows about history could tell you.
Она уплыла? Или это не тут? Это дальше.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Word has traveled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather. Wild Pines has eyes on the intersection, but not ears.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout. It would give them a read on the entire...
It appears we are being monitored every step we take, colleague. Did we have any other business here?
Ну, мы могли сказать ей про татуировку. Но кажется, она сама как раз тут нужен.
Give me a moment.
Что наркотики продает. Мне кажется, она сама есть. Она зароблила над нами.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right?
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose.
Does anyone in a city like this? Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. But somehow, it never happens. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright. Sad Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with me. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time. No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
Хорошо, что у нас один человек все записывает. Осталось только найти эту женщину. Девочку. Ой.
You hear someone, a poor community.
Do you have a what?
Let's go.
It's general.
Блять, добре.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle...
Whoever lives here, there aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. I suspect that's exactly what they are trying to do. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. It was definitely controversial. There aren't many communists.
Ну тут ничего.
О, повезло.
Да, повезло. Стой, я вспомнил как раз. Повезло, мне вспомнил как раз, что к этому челу надо зайти.
This door is made of no one answers.
We should return in the evening.
А, блядь, точно. У тебя я вспомню еще больше. Надо в день туда прийти. Как туда попасть, интересно? Да, бля, почему не идет иногда? Что за бред? Понял. Надо еще ключи какие-то искать. Скорее. Да ёба. Так. Отдайте девочку с перчатками. Понял. Про какую она реально девочка говорила-то внизу, играющая с перчатками? Жаль, что бутылки не обновляются. Я бы так хотя бы пофармил хотя бы хоть что-то, хотя бы какие-то бабки. А так ни хрена ничего нет у меня. А, кстати, может вот она быть? Ну-ка.
Hello again, sir. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Понял. М-м. Ну это я не знаю, где женщину найти, вот эту девочку, где она, кто она, где она находится. А, попробуем поговорить с челиком.
Looking for something, Aunt? Come to tell me to fuck. I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his...
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were...
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist...
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the lorrymen and
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a... Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to...
Бля, хотелось бы, прокнуло бы.
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is...
What? What do you think we're doing right now, runt? We're outside, talking. There's some kind of homo thing?
Да блять!
Make me, runt.
We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go.
Бля, запорол, блядь, все на свете. Но он не знает.
Hola, Wandering Man.
Тоже не знает.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my... No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving up, begging for help, attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far you gave the world eugenics, electricity, and you dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the... This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the state. Bring your troops to the Simenine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pull. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will stop.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Those are the Simonese, the
Чё, больше
Areopagi,
текста не можно
and
было
the Occidentals.
написать? Не знаю, почему, блядь, типа, орёт, типа. Или это ли сила так показывается? У кого большие буквы, у того сила, что ли, получается?
Impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led them on reprehensible street parades. You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners.
Зря, походу, я
My people simply call them Maun.
качал грубую силу,
Mahoon
мне
is a
кажется. Или
derogatory
нет?
term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have X-Men. Also, people of Katla, like in some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassels and...
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are on the ascent. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race. Type B are the unheroic, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholier.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Chest et al. Are what you would call white, officer.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone. The Khoikhoi, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably upset. The Revacholians, halfway between Type A and the racial Cauldron, too mixed to know right from wrong.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is little. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoikhoi to the enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptation. Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic. Then there is the Semino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know?
Походу реально на 2 часа выслушать его диалоги, и может тебя пропустит он.
Especially when they meet the rich man. As this will never happen. The Simonese and the Khoikhoi, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type CF. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Бля.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. You're... don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital. Something your race jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? Offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminese race. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are
Yes, блядь.
the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus, and we are the future. That I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I know. I have heard about it on the radio. Yes.
This could have made
Yes.
discussing the race enigma with you.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
There always is.
Они типа не, ну, как бы общаются, вот, например, я общаюсь с этим громилой, они не слышат, да, друг друга? Типа мы так оп-оп, а он такой туман в голове.
Is reality. He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no
He had nothing to do with it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually...
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant. Find out for yourself. Endomorph.
Interesting.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be...
Correct. There is nothing fun. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
И все. Что мне делать-то все? Блять, опять платить за... Бля, надо было сразу подходить, я дурак. Надо было в предыдущий день это все делать. Получается, мне сейчас нечего делать, только с этими мужиками поговорить. И шо? Но они мне опять отпиздят. Мне не нравится то, что я не смогу их победить. Вот где мы не были? Или есть ли тут карта? Давайте, типа, усвоим, что нам... Вот, например, вот это. И чё? Есть что-нибудь... А, да, она усваивает. А хер его знает, узнаем. Ну что, реально бонусы, а я про их что-то как-то проебал. Я был. Да ёбаный рот. И чё нам, у кого спросить-то еще можно?
Is this about the questions again?
You see several packaged raincoats
Стойкость.
fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles.
Не будем воровать ничего.
Is this about the question? I don't.
Обалдеть, сохранение. Обалдеть. Ну, я больше не знаю, что делать. Мы все прошерстили. Только если... Только с ней поговорить и по домофону поговорить. Ну, у меня... Я отсосу. У меня зарядов нет боевого духа. Я проебался на вот этом челике. Мне кажется, полицейскому всегда нужно пистолет при себе иметь. У него татуировки, кстати, есть? Нету. Не она, скорее.
No, man. You caught me at an opportunity. You just call me a lady, Herife.
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. I'm only terrifying to small children, and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Драма.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there, it's all just. In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? Oh, Sim.
Бля, ну хуй пойми. Лучше так нажимать. Это вообще бред. А, вот. Оказывается, это на вот так фиксится. Окей. Ну, единственное осталось вот тут. А там тут и есть наверху. А как туда пробраться-то? Здесь тоже ничего нет. Как к этой женщине пройти? Так, мы это с ней уже говорили.
This young woman is cold as ice.
That's right. So let's get that.
It doesn't matter.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Like I already. What you want?
Мы это все уже спрашивали.
If anything, aggressive. Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Get sober, do your job, ask your questions, and get that.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Wow. The RCM's real big dick cops.
Yeah, look. Must be something in the water.
Yeah.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get.
No. I's here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
He understood what you were doing. Taking inventory of them.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy.
Relax, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. Let Dennis enjoy.
Yeah. You're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Easy, fellas. We got company.
Too late. You already scanned the room. You got to... Of the actors here, you could take another look at the track.
No.
He understood.
Yeah! Relax, Dennis.
Yeah, let Dennis
Yeah.
Easy, fellas.
Too late. Good. You could take another look at the tracks in the yard, on the crime scene. See if they fit this bunch.
So,
they could.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt? Because we did.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt...
Shays Electrique.
Or send them to Reunion to rot.
for
The River Esperance Correctional Facility.
Rest assured, lawman.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? That's for the courts and
По-другому
what you
сыграем.
can do right now is go back to your station and
No, no. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
you don't have to keep answering.
I know, Lizzie. Relax.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that.
Yeah.
Quiet.
By the
No. Why don't you...
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And
What kind of mercenary?
the kind that...
Alive, Grit.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the...
Cause one night.
Really?
Yeah.
We could.
Sire, this is a serious violation of...
Wrong?
There's slight unease.
To kill us all, if we don't...
Yeah.
He grabbed...
Yeah. Show me your con. Why don't you show me your...
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Все это мы уже слышали.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stoned.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real stiff.
Didn't they?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to.
We overpowered him.
Then we left him for.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
With numbers.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. Elaine, this little him neither. A single sentence would wear him out. He can't take the length.
No. Of course he's happy.
Fuck off.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy.
And fuck you.
This one is a stone wall.
Like what, copper?
И чё теперь? Можно сохраниться? Не. Блять, вот... А если я подойду, вот типа закончу сейчас, например. Я могу подойти и поговорить еще раз с ним по поводу... Ну, типа, я так понял, здесь не так не получится себе просто их взять. Просто, а их больше. Здесь сколько их? Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь. Пистолет на 7 патронов. Бам, 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 бам. Все. Победа.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Сейчас мы авторитет где-то найдем. Или качнем.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are
Сколько
still...
у меня шансов появится? Был 3? 3? Что за каловая масса? Что за кал? Ну, а может, у меня есть на авторитет что-нибудь еще, какие-нибудь бонусы? Эй, хуй пойми, не понимаю, как это работает. Авторитетская волна, грубая сила, электроника. Нет ничего.
Whoa. In your hand, Parolidon. The double rain. What a funny little cat. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's not gonna give you radiation. You need to lower the radiation. The container is warm to the touch. Or is that what is he? Your mother? Is Kim your au pair? Slurp it. Slurp the morsel of. You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your tongue. When you swallow, it's already almost all gone. It tastes like many things, all melted into one conflagration in the back of your throat. Not really. It's just a metaphor.
Надеюсь, это...
The effect of this warmth. It makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
I'm happy for you.
His glasses turn golden as the fire reflects off the lenses. You feel this man is your... Just don't mix it with anything, he thinks, looking you over. Thankfully, his sense of balance seems okay. Wow, Kim's badass. Or he's had a druggy partner. Whoa, that's... Look at all these guys go off like fireworks as information pours into you. Why not? This government develops substance. Please don't actually operate any fire machines. Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more Pyrrolidon. This stuff...
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Pyrrolidon button. It gives +1 to psyche skills. Empathy, suggestion...
Да это похуй. Бля, это на время. Блядь, кал, блядь. Кал. А, с другими парнями я могу поговорить, да? Да? Нет, нет, нельзя.
I've got nothing to say to you.
И что мне делать? Я сейчас все, я в тупике. Я не знаю, что делать.
Can I help you?
Нет.
Oh, hello, dear.
Нет.
You see a heavy... You immediately feel drawn. The door does not. The kobold, old kobold, it leads... The man ponders his cooking utensil. He looks up, shrugging his...
Ну это кал, блядь. Я что и сделал?
Fuck does Kuno care? So? North Jamrock? Kuno meant everything north of 881. The rooster fucked Kuno's words up.
Kuno appreciates you recognizing him as the sovereign of Jamrock.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the after this shit. You better have something real interesting to...
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno, shoot that shit at the fuck about it. Your test...
Get lost.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, 500 real.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running down his trouser leg.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
These are found modulars, liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova. Believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pens. They will also make you into an idiot.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for falling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain.
I can't hear you, Kuno! Speak louder, Kuno!
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
Бля, все с этим школьником, оказывается, завязано-то, блядь.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation technique.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno! They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching! Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away! Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Look at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Kuno killed! Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his note.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie Opagite descent. It used...
The fuck does this have to do with the Kuno? Kuno doesn't give a shit.
You were expecting and relaying this information to him to be...
Блядь.
Right?
Я
Telling him you found out she isn't a gardener. Or alcohol. If you don't, seems kind of boring now, going back to... What was this about?
That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind, lazy dinks.
He's hiding something.
Pig, if Kuno was hiding something, it would be hidden.
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on...
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Yeah? Yeah, whatever. The fuck about it? You're Get
lost!
Kuno doesn't fuck...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Stay away from me, pig!
Shit.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. I come from...
Don't be...
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth.
8 пар, ага.
Where else have we seen a gang of men? 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. 5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot. But number 41. Small like a rat. Shank. Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve
Так,
the
а
tracks
какой там,
against
блядь, был последний?
The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy.
Это может и вот эта его броня и есть, как бы.
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
He doesn't seem to hear you, looking south toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing. Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat. You're right. Do you think those prints belong to him?
Скорее всего, надо саму вот эту штучку забрать. Скорее всего, там-то отпечатки есть.
I could still be wrong.
Если здесь вообще
But
про
I'm
отпечатки
positive.
знают.
200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying...
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Maybe it wasn't. And I was thinking it wasn't the giant of Kokonur. Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Получается, нельзя никого допускать сюда. А, не, подожди, можно его сюда позвать. Он же скорее всего наступит, след-то оставит, можно посмотреть.
Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his peers, demonstrate his physical might.
You have a point there. Anyway, it's something to consider. What else can you see? What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree.
Ну, если 200 килограмм, вряд ли он 200 килограмм весит. Скорее всего, кто-то. Ну, это, скорее всего, реально качок. И типа, хотя размер обуви, что-то... Про обувь что-то не говорили, у великана-то нифига. Фиг его знает. Типа, кто-то из них тащил ее 200 килограмм, как бы, как-то... Какая, блин, 200 килограмм, я хоть понимаю.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our old soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the Old Soul.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah? Yeah, whatever. Kuno's? Shoot that shit at the fuck about. You're testing Kuno.
Get lost!
Kuno doesn't.
I'll die before I...
И что мне делать? Типа, они же меня все равно завалят. Вот это как туда попасть? Эту женщину. Как в этой к женщине подойти?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that cover. Hard to say. Cop habit. This isn't case related.
Авторитет. Бонус от предметов. У меня еще, оказывается, бонус от... Какой-то предмет мне руинит. Так, ну... Посмотрим, какой авторитет у меня. Кого мы можем просить у нее?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy, there's 7 of us and... Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy?
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her. She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks...
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she.
Ну, понятно. Не, подожди. Их раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь, восемь. Ну, если я ошибся,
That's
не умею
right.
считать.
We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Ну, я не верю, что, блядь, 8 шанс. 8, блядь, нереально. Я не смогу прокнуть это только если... Здесь, мне кажется, есть скриптовая какая-то авторитет. Вот мне кажется так. Но мы дайте прокачать что-нибудь себе. Одни минусы, блядь, у меня. Чё у меня еще? Самообладание. Эквилибристика, внушение. Без бафов. Риторика -1. Эквилибристика. Эквилибристика похер. Это кал. Может просто голым ходить? Да, электромеханика. А у нас еще техника. Ну, техника. А сколько сейчас будет у нас?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
8. Хуй пойми. Там бутылка была, подожди, сдать надо. И надо в руки эту штуку взять, скорее всего, она не подбирает ее. Нет? Бля. Я думал, я бутылку получится. А, ну Бармен спросил, он же видел, скорее
Can
всего.
I help you?
Да, блядь. Почему нельзя спросить еще, типа, кто мог все заходить с ними, тусоваться рядом? Что мне делать теперь? Ну? Спросите маленькую девочку в рыбацкой деревне. А вот тут рыбацкая деревня. Куда ты еще, значит, не пришел? Морл. Какое-то время.
Make way for the master poet. I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I didn't, man. I told you, I was hoping it's not her.
It's true. We would, of course, lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you.
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now a friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's a youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Блин, я ни у кого, походу, не видел такие волосы.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Ну да, кстати.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you. I just can't, man. I'm not naive. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. It's snitching, man. I know what it is. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances, and he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
Бля, вот здесь я бы сохранился бы.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
Эй!
Despair creeps into you. Getting fat on your weakness. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Fuck me? Please leave the rage you have for after we finish.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism.
Бля, кал ебаный, блядь. Обосранная игра, блядь. Ой, такая каловая масса, блядь. Всё заново, блядь. Ебанутка, блядь.
Let me handle this. Detective.
Her entire character.
О, на этом все, в пизду, блядь. Блядь, болтовни миллиард надо. Слушайте, она еще, сука, я забываю сохраниться, потому что я, блядь, читаю и вообще забываю, блядь, что надо сохраняться после этого дерьма, блядь. О, ну и каловая масса. Я еще и умер от какого-то дебафа, блядь. Блядь, ну и бредятину придумали, блядь. Сука. Как может у тебя вот от боевого духа, как ты можешь, блядь, сдохнуть? Ну, игра провальна, пиздец, блядь. Чё за кал? Я хуею, блядь. Я хочу, как хочу, этот, блядь, отвечаю. Нет, это неправильно, блядь, тебе пизда, ты проиграл гейм-овер. Козел. Все. Вот все, блядь, как бы, да, все приколы. Ой, короче, продолжим завтра или послезавтра, или вообще никогда, вообще. Не знаю. Да. Ну или Колывандер, блядь, настоящий. Как так можно было? Я хуй пойми.